Thank y'all for tuning in to UnQualified Results, where we don't have the answers, we just have the results. Presented by Street Talk TV with your host, Baby K, the wife coach, and co-host, Little E.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel, UnQualified Results, presented by Street Talk TV, where we don't have the answers, we just have the results. I'm your host, Baby K, the wife coach, and sitting next to me is my husband, my lovely
Little E. I'm back in the building. Thank y'all.
So we got a good topic today, okay? Another one. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym. We heard that before.
Yes, we have.
Okay. And what that means is...
early bird gets the first worm.
Yes, it does.
I know you heard that before, too.
Yes.
But I'm going to try to get a little ism in here. So, the wife coach is talking about ladies and gentlemen, okay? What's that term mean? You wasn't with me shooting in the gym, okay? A lot of us heard that term, so we already know that, somebody wasn't around. Normally, I guess it's the men talking about, this to the women, that you wasn't around when I was practicing in that gym. I'm shooting them free throws and 3-pointers, and I'm practicing until I actually make it. And that's what we mean by you was not in the gym with me when I was building, okay, before I had all of this. That's what the term means. So, ladies, the early bird gets the first worm. That's a term we use in business. And if you in business, I know you probably heard that before. And that's because you wake up early to get to the money early and the fastest. Okay? So whoever can get to that man early, that's what that means. That hopefully, and a lot of times, that's the woman that he is ending up going to take to the finish line with him. And that's okay. We ain't going to say all cases because ain't nothing ever all. So I don't need y'all talking about that all stuff. Okay. But a lot of times, okay, and we can even do some research on some of this stuff as well. I know y'all out there like to do research with y'all degrees and stuff. So put them degrees to work and do a little research and go see how many of these women was with these men before they actually blew up, or before they actually got their millions or their 100,000s, okay? Whatever it was, go check the stats, go check the record on that, because I'm telling you that a lot of women have been with these guys before they were anybody. Okay, and that's what the term means with him building, shooting in the gym before he actually took off. Okay, shout out to the amigos, like Takeoff. Okay, so you was with him before that, and that's really what that term means. So we could break that down on a deeper level. So I'm gonna let the wife coach get with y'all right quick. What you got for him, boo?
Well, not too much. It's another simple one. And from my perspective as a woman, a wife, have been with you pretty much my whole life.
A lot of years.
A lot of years. Yeah, you want to get to them early, ladies. You want to be in that position early. It's this thing what they have like building a man, building with a man versus building a man. I'm not talking about building a man. Nope. But I'm talking about building with him. Mm-hmm. He laid 20 bricks. I'll come in there and I'll lay down 5.
There you
go. Building with him.
Yep.
Okay. Using the example, shooting in the gym. I'm right there on those hard ass bleachers. while he's practicing all day. Like, so it's about, just showing that you are there to put in the work with him because,
it's like that struggle. And a lot of girls, not to cut you off, wife coach, but a lot of girls, like, it just popped in my head, like, they be saying the struggle love and all that. And, they don't have a clue that if they thought about it, who's it really better for? Okay, is it better for them to get a man while it's in the early stages and go through this struggle love thing, or is it better for them to catch him at the finish line? And I think the girls go through like a lot of this type of questioning because most women want a guy that's obviously established and be able to have something going for itself when they probably get with him, and that's understandable. Anybody can understand that. If you got some sense, you can understand that. So we ain't going down and try to clown the girls for none of that because that's to be expected. Everybody wants their person to be, at least on their feet to a certain extent. So that's cool. But the thing is, it would be better for y'all, you think, to get that man when he is established and already on his feet and he moving and grooving, shaking and baking, whatever you want to call it. But the whole time, because you catching him at the finish line, he don't really not only know you, he don't owe you nothing.
Don't owe you nothing.
He don't owe you nothing at all.
No.
So that's why I think like when those terms come from, but the girls gotta understand, is it really better to, catch him at the finish line? Is that really gonna work in your favor for you to do that? You know what I mean? What you think, wife coach?
Well, it all depends on what you want at the finish line, and what I mean by that is, so if at the finish line, if you just want access to his money, that's possible because you can go ahead and throw that out there. That's possible.
Yeah, for sure.
You can find a man at the finish line. We see it all the time with the baddies getting the celebrity basketball players and stuff, these young boys that's coming out.
Yeah. We do.
And women are getting them right when they getting on the line, They're getting on the line and already at the finish line, you know what I mean?
I guess, yeah.
So,
right about that.
It is some women, but, if you want all of the man, and when I say all of the man, like his mind, his heart, his soul,
and
his
safe.
money, and the safe, then the only way to like really
accomplish
that and sink your imprint on him.
Yeah.
These are the choices that you have to make, and these are the things that you have to think of when you are a woman. It's all about what's your end goal, right? And if your end goal is just his money, then you can get that, but I'm sure it's only going to be partial access because these men are catching on too. They leaving stuff in their mama's names and stuff because they know y'all just at the finish line. Y'all just at the finish line
waiting.
And as a mother of sons, not going for that. So no.
These mothers, as you see, they taking their son's money and putting it in their name and everything. So them girls can't get it. Them smart ones are. So, I think this is a good topic. It's good to enlighten each other on this type of stuff and kind of go back and forth with these conversations to see how we can get to some solutions, some resolutions with a lot of this stuff. because nobody want to be played. Nobody want to be played, especially when it comes to the money. And
money makes people funny.
You waiting for these boys to finish at to get their wealth and wait for them at the finish line, but that might not work in your favor all the time, ladies. Might not work in your favor all the time.
Depending on your goal.
Yeah. So, wife coach, you already know what it is.
Okay, so that was another fire episode. Okay, and I hope y'all agree in the comments. Okay,
or disagree.
Okay, we need it all. Okay, so thank y'all for tuning in to our show, Unqualified Results, presented by Street Talk TV. And you have been watching me, Baby K, the wife coach, and my lovely
Lil E,
my everything.
live and direct, and we out.